Hi, do you use Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, or any other apps or companies that partner with independent contractors? Well, if so, then when you're done signing our independent contractors Bill of Rights, please share this video as much as possible because we're running out of time to save the gig economy and we know the power of social media. We know how well this works. So just sign and share and share and share. All right. So since you use Uber and Lyft and all that, we're gonna go ahead and kind of talk about that. I just want to give you a real quick background about myself. My name's Kristen. I'm an Uber, Lyft slash X taxi slash Instacart worker. I have my own business, and I partnered outside of the apps with other companies. So I've also read independent contractor laws, including IRS, Borello, and AB5 slash Pro Acts ABC test. And I've read 4 state and 2 city transportation network company laws, which also contain independent contractor driver qualifications. So I know what I'm talking about. And I used these bills or these laws, to create the Bill of Rights. So I've come up with ideas myself, and I've taken feedback over the years. This isn't something new to me, and I've been involved in rideshare rights for like 3 years now, at least. So I'm here, and I'm prompted to make this video because you need to know what's going on, and you should be mad, and we need to do something about this. Like now. What happened at the beginning of the year is this new law, California AB5, was finally enforced. Like it became a law last year, but actually was enforced at the beginning of this year on everybody except for, the app companies, basically. So what it does is it reclassifies independent contractors as employees unless you get an exemption. And millions of independent contractors are out of work because hundreds of professions have been wiped out. Like over 300 professions have been wiped out. So this isn't just like an Uber business model thing. This is an employee business model thing that is completely unsustainable for both small and big businesses. So when it comes to like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all these big app companies not having, abided by the law, they've been trying to, conform to the law. So at first, at the beginning of the year, the excuse that they didn't qualify was that the drivers couldn't, see the destination at first. So in California, Uber and Lyft let them see the destination. So there's been these changes. There's been that. There's been the reason that they claimed that the drivers couldn't set their own rates. So now they've made it so that they can, increase or lower the multiplier. And that's how the drivers can now set their rates in California. And this is companies' decisions to let workers do this. This isn't something that is actually in the law. So now the excuse is that us drivers aren't I think you call it tangential to the company. They think that we're the company's core business, but I mean, if you look at it in reality, like I said, I've been a taxi driver. So wherever Uber and Lyft drivers qualify as independent contractors, so should taxi companies' drivers. They do the same exact thing. The only difference is that Uber and Lyft have had self-driving cars or drones and that kind of thing, which takes away from the work that we do. So that's what they're not allowed to have, even per prong B of the ABC test. That's what the wording states, and like I said, if you compare it otherwise to the taxi company, they're uncanny because they provide the branding, the insurance, the licensing, the clients, the technology, and it's a whole nother game. Like they have their own employees for that. So they have their own business and we have our own business, and we partner with them so that we can provide this work without actually having to go and do all this ourselves. Like I would have to go get my own branding and my own this and that, but it's actually illegal in Portland. So I can't. So the only thing I can do is use Uber and Lyft. So I pay them for their services. Same as a taxi company, except for a taxi was way worse. I had to pay, like if you were to go rent, say like a Lyft rental, I paid twice as much for a taxi as I did a Lyft, and I got to use it for half the time. It would be 12 hours on, 12 hours off on the taxi, and I had to share with another driver, so it was a schedule if I wanted to work. And I didn't get to take that car home, so definitely bummer waste of my money. Uber Lyft drivers really have no idea how good we have it. Like when I was a taxi driver, I had to shadow for 3 days before I could drive. I didn't get surges and, referral money and all this, like these extra bonuses and things like that. So like complaining that Uber and Lyft, like whatever, that we don't qualify as, or that they don't qualify for independent contractors is just bogus. They've been following the laws for years, and just all of a sudden, now that it's convenient for the government to use us for their votes and their union money to line their pockets, like it's not okay. We've been asking the government to make changes just as long as we've been asking Uber and Lyft and all these other companies to make changes. So the only reason that they're doing it is because it benefits them. It doesn't benefit us. They claim that there's all these benefits, and these benefits are a lie. I just want to let you know, like, all this is propaganda. Even their UC Berkeley study that they did, they wasted money on that too. So the problem is that the problem that got us actually used as leverage, app-based workers used as leverage, was the few people, Rideshare Drivers United, Gig Workers Rising, Gig Workers Collective, and Alliance for Independent Workers, and their minions, all those little groups that block you when you're an activist and all that. Yeah. So they were complaining that we don't make minimum wage because they're including they're counting wait time as work time, like inactive wait time as work time. And that's unsustainable. You can, for example, you can look at California and see that there are millions of independent contractors out of work already. But don't listen to me. There's also New York City. Uber and Lyft have to pay an hourly wage. And so the economic model is that if you raise the cost, you must cut the workforce. So since they can't pay money out that isn't coming in, they have to cut the workforce. So it's first come, first serve basis, and you have to hope that there's enough demand to get on the app and work. Otherwise, you're messaging, tagging the city on Twitter, and the city goes, "Oh, well, I don't know why you can't pay your bills. It must be Uber and Lyft." No, it's not Uber and Lyft. It's the fact that it's an economically unsustainable model that you're asking for. You cannot count inactive wait time as work time when you're an independent contractor. You can't sit there on your butt waiting at the airport and expect to get paid for that. You are able to go open any app and go work for any other app. There are only like 20% of Uber drivers that use other apps. That's the problem. That's why we're so saturated. Like, get out there, people. Okay, so anyways, this is just a bunch of excuses and lies and propaganda. So we need to stop this, and the way that we're going to stop it is with our Bill of Rights. So When you're done watching this, like I said, just sign that sucker and share this sucker all over the place, because we've got to, as Americans, we've got to keep our freedom. This this is our freedom. Like, we will be otherwise applying, we'll be cut. The workforce will be cut, first of all. And then we'll be applying to be Uber bitches. I'm not okay with that. And I'm not okay with people getting fined either if they want to hire me as their photographer, and because they're gonna make freelancing illegal. Like, that's what's happened in California. We have got to get people back to work. We have got to secure our freedom and our rights. Like, the entire problem that caused this was Uber and Lyft's rates going down. They dropped it from paying us 80% to paying us minutes and miles. And I mean, it's not so bad, because, at like 20 miles in an hour in Portland, once you add your base, your minutes, miles, and any kind of active wait time, you're making $31 an hour before tips, surge, and any kind of bonuses or referrals. So, it's not that bad, but we need to go back to 80%. There are problems that got us to this point that we need to fix, and so that's what I aim to fix in this Bill of Rights. So just share it around. We need to get some rights that are fair and sustainable. I really appreciate you listening, and I'm running out of time, but I'm really wishing for the best, and thank you for trying. Anyway.